Good morning, parents of the West Shore School District, and welcome to the midnight edition of the Watchdog Report here at the Boiling Point. Tonight, we're going to be howling out some truths. So, today, we're going to discuss the York Dispatch, aka the York Dumpster. It seems as though the York Dumpster is gaslighting the community again. And this is what I mean. So, you guys, anybody who's attended the West Shore School District board meetings can attest that whenever the things are not going the way that the left wants it to go, what do they do? Well, Abigail Tierney contacts Danielle Gross, who Danielle Gross is a advocate. Okay. Um, I wouldn't say parental advocate, I would say an advocate for the PSBA. Okay. And promotes all these woke agendas and wants to see these woke agendas um, be established in our school and become permanently embedded in it. I remember I had a conversation one time with her online media in which I asked her, would you allow your children to read these pornographic materials? And her reply was a resounding yes. And that's when I started calling her Danielle the Gross. But let's get back to the York Dispatch. So, the York Dispatch has become an ally of Abigail Turney, Danielle Gross, and the liberal board members that sits on that board. Anytime things don't go their way, they call the York Dispatch. They have them write hit pieces on the conservative board members, on parents, okay, and on anybody that is not backing up, okay, their agendas. And hence they did it again. And let me tell you something, guys. The York Dispatch is not the only one doing it. We also have ABC 27 coming out to these meetings, okay, invited by Danielle Gross, and filming these meetings, seeing the meetings by themselves. And unbeknownst to the conservative parents, they don't understand how them being there, witnessing what's really happening, they come out, they give it a spin, okay, a spin that's not true. They also assist Danielle Gross and the woke liberal board members in gaslighting the community and try to assist them in promoting these disastrous, toxic, dangerous agenda. So, what did the York dumpster do? All righty. So, the York dumpster, and hopefully Harrisburg 100 is not joining in with the York dumpster. It's again attacking our conservative board. All right. So why are they doing this? Well, the conservative board right now is writing policy, putting policy in place to protect our girls, okay, our girls' sports, our girl athletes, and making sure that girls always have access to their own sports and they're able to compete fairly with other girls, okay, and win their awards and everything and acknowledgments fairly, and that they are not competing against a man or a man that identifies as a girl, because that gives the man an unfair advantage. Number one. Number two, there is an executive order that Donald Trump did sign into place stating no men in women's sports. Now, we heard in the last school board meeting, if you were there, how Todd Stokes stated that executive orders are not law, and of course, Tierney chimed in. And although he's right, they're not laws; they are mandates, but they are tied to federal funding. That if Todd Stokes, okay, drops the ball yet again and encourages, the board to drop the ball, there goes the federal funding that a already hurting fiscally school board district desperately needs. So he would rather, in order to promote his agenda, because you see, I don't call him the West Shore superintendent. And yeah, you guys heard me, you have heard me say that he's a taco eating dragon. But I say that all in fun. But I do not refer to this man as a superintendent. I refer to him as an advocate because his advocacy is more important to him than fulfilling the role of a superintendent. His advocacy is more important to him than fulfilling the role of a superintendent. Out of his own admission, he cannot define what a woman is. Out of his own admission, in his twisted little mind, gender is not defined at birth, or sex is not defined at birth. Out of his own admission, a birth certificate cannot be used, okay, to define or solidify gender. But yet they require a birth certificate when they're going to register the kids in the school. So basically, he's trying to assist the woke mob in getting what they want, which is to allow boys and girls sports. And the pathetic part of all this is that the York dumpster is here stating that Todd Stoltz asked the elected board members question about their latest anti-LGBTQ policy without providing answer. The far right members advanced on new restrictions. First and foremost, Title IX has existed since 1970, what, 70, 73, 74? Well, since the 70s. And Title IX was put in place to protect women in their sports, to allow women to have their own sports, so that women did not have to compete with men. So they are not pushing anything new on anything that wasn't there. They're just enforcing the policy, and they are also obeying the executive order that Donald Trump signed. Because they also know that in not obeying this executive order, they will lose federal funding. So, getting back to the taco eating dragon here, it doesn't surprise me that it's a stance because you guys know about all the violence that's happening in the West Shore School District schools. Every school is like it's just plagued with violence and bullying and drugs. Just this week, we've had a couple drug incidents in the school. Oh, he calls them incidents. Yeah, there were incidents related to drugs, the use of drugs in the schools. So, this is a failing superintendent that has the audacity to join forces with the woke liberal members of this board to attack not only the conservative board, but the parents. And in him asking inappropriate questions, because they were inappropriate, they discussed this like what, 3 or 4 times before in other meetings as to why we need this policy. But he doesn't want this policy. So it doesn't surprise me that a man that cannot stop bullying, cannot stop violence, and can care less about the bullying and the violence in the West Shore School District schools, why would he care about protecting your girls? Why would he care that your daughters may be required to change clothes in the same locker room with a boy or take a shower, God forbid, in the same shower room as a boy? You think he really cares if the girls get attacked? Obviously not, because the bullying and the violence in the West Shore School District has gone on reined in, and this superintendent needs to be reined in, folks. Needs to be reined in because what nobody is seeing here, parents, is that your tax dollars is paying for his tacos. Your tax dollars is paying for his salary. In essence, he is our employee. Um, he's made forth comments to the York dumpster in the past about our board, about family members, about community members, and he still continues to do so. But what's even more pathetic is these, fake news sources coming to our district to distort the truth and gaslight the community. And I don't know why people waste their time reading this trash, because that's what it is, trash, supporting this trash, backing up this trash, alongside ABC 27 that shows up to our meetings whenever they want on the beck and call of Abigail Cherney and Danielle Gross. And with ABC 27, guys, it's even a little bit worse because they are there seeing the meeting. They're hearing the facts, but they choose to spin it into a lie. Why? Because they're assisting their crony Danielle Gross, and we all know it. We all know it here in the West Shore School District. So I think it's time, guys, that you turn off the TV when it comes to ABC 27. Stop watching them. The same thing with Fox News, which I call Folks News, FAUX, Fox News, because as of late, they've been also attacking the West Shore School District because they have also, as an organization, embraced all this wokeness. CBS has done it also. So we have to understand that it's vital to approach media consumption with discernment, and discernment comes from God, and responsibility. Fake media sources often exist solely to disseminate false propaganda, manipulate perspective, and unjustly harm individuals or groups. Isn't that what is happening, guys? This fake media that's been coming to our school board meetings, that's exactly what they're doing. They are, spreading false propaganda, and they are twisting or manipulating the perspective of things, and they are unjustly harming individuals and groups. And like I said, stop supporting them, because supporting such outlets undermines trust, spreads misinformation, and damages and has damaged the fabric of our community. Because that's what the York Dumpster, Penn Lies, ABC 27, CBS is doing. They're damaging our community because they're bringing further division with their lies. They're gaslighting the community. We need to back up reputable and trustworthy sources like The Boiling Point, like American Tribune, like OAN, like The Blaze, like Tucker Carlson. So we need to back up these trustworthy sources that verify information before they share it, and they foster critical thinking when engaging in the news. And this is the thing, the sad thing about this, it's like I was saying, ABC 27, they're right there in our meetings. They hear the truth, but they share a lie. Instead of embracing the truth, they're embracing a lie. We need to stand against these fake media sources. We really do. We need to contribute to a healthier, more informed public discourse and protect the values of truth and integrity. And that's what this mob is fighting against, truth and integrity, because this mob does not know the definition of the word truth, and much less integrity. So, what I'm saying, guys, is that we need to start speaking up against the York dumpster. We need to start speaking up against Penn Lies. We need to start sending letters of complaint against ABC 27 and CBS and anybody that's coming into our community to spin a lie versus expose the truth. At one time, journalism was a very respected career. It no longer is. The light of journalism has become dark. It's only a few out there that's holding the torch of truth. You know, for us to entertain these media sources and entertain the lies that people like Toss Stokes and Abigail Turney and Cambic and Geiswhite and Trone spread, something has to be done. We either have to request for policy to be written as to what source of news can come and visit us. Um, and if they start spinning lies, they can't come back in. So we have to find some sort of resolution. But as parents, we need to start speaking up against it because sometimes when you're in leadership like they are, that they volunteer for these positions, guys, it gets heavy. It gets heavy. It gets heavy, and the community needs to start speaking up. So I'm not gonna go through too many rabbit trails, but I am gonna say that the reason that the York Dispatch or the York Dumpster is coming forth again with this fake media, with this fake news, okay, it's because the woke community is running scared because they feel that yet again something else is slipping out of their hands. We have a meeting on April 10th, and I suggest that as many conservative parent and taxpayer that is in the West Shore School District that, see the need of us protecting our girls because this superintendent's not going to do it. This school administration is not going to do it. But if you see the need to protect our girls, I will encourage you to come out to this meeting. And if you cannot come out to this meeting, then write an email the board. Send an email. The emails of the board members is on the West Shore School District page. Send an email in support that they pass this policy protecting our girls. Because if we're not the voice of these girls, administration's not going to do it. We already have seen how administration has failed our children. We already have seen how administration has turned a blind eye on the violence and the bullying in the schools. Parents, it really falls on you whether this policy is going to pass or not. You need to let your voice be heard. And you need to call out the lies, the gaslighting of these media people that are coming to our meetings to distort the truth and further divide this community. So, with that, this is Mariana. This is the boiling point, the midnight edition. Again, shame on the York Dispatch or the York Dumpster. Shame on Penn Live. Shame on ABC 27. Instead of being a beacon of truth and an avenue for change, they are giving journalism a bad name. They are furthering the damage, the lies that the woke mob wants to spin. They don't know right from wrong or wrong from right. They are endangering our children. And you know what? York Dispatch or York Dumpster, it's better for you to put a millstone around your neck. Your hands are dirty. And you too will stand in the presence of a living God to give an account for all your words and action. Words have power. And if you continue to spread these lies by your own words, one day you're going to open your eyes and find that you have condemned yourself eternally. And once that happens, there's nothing that you can say and nothing that you can write that's going to get you out of that situation. So the York Dispatch, because the woke mob is running scared, it's again attacking our conservative school board members. And when it comes to Todd Stoltz, we can do better. And I will encourage the board to evaluate this man and really ask yourselves, really ask yourself, if the children of the West Shore School District, if the families of the West Shore School District deserves a better administrator than the divisive one that we have now that has assisted others to weaponize themselves against you. With that saying, this is Mariana. Thank you for listening to me ramble on at midnight. Saying goodbye from the boiling point. God bless.
Oh, I'm trapped again, and fate as always has me wrapped again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, when all I wanted was to find a friend, someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again.